Whoa, we're live! Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to 7th Street. Today's a little bit of a busy day. I'm actually working on a new episode of Reference This Film. I'm also editing a feature film of mine, so, sorry the videos have sort of been few and far in between, and, I've still got kind of pretty gnarly bedhead right now. I didn't really prep too hard for this video here. But I thought that I would just do a quick Blu-ray DVD collection update, just because I got a couple of new really cool DVDs and Blu-rays. The first of which that I got this actually probably about a week or two ago, and that is the Joe D'Amato film Death Smiles on a Murderer by Arrow Video. This is actually a pretty interesting Blu-ray. It looks fantastic. This is a weird film. It's sort of considered to be Joe D'Amato's. It's kind of like his work of art when it comes to horror films. It's got an interview with Joe where he talks a lot about the film, and he's extremely proud of it. He kind of considers it to be like his crowning jewel of his horror films. I wasn't all that impressed by this movie all around. It took me 2 different sittings to get through the whole thing. It's a little boring, actually. It kind of reminds me of like an Amicus film or a Hammer film, but not a very good one. You know, like a really slow one, kind of like, oh god, what is the name? Hold on. Kind of like Curse of the Werewolf a little bit, where it just drags on for a little while. It's also a period piece. There are a couple of cool kills in this movie, but other than that, it's kind of hard to get through. I definitely owe this a second watch, and I probably should watch it with the commentary. It's a film scholar, right? Yeah, writer and critic Tim Lucas. I should probably watch that. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the film critics that they get for that Arrow Releasing gets for these Blu-rays. I don't know. Like the one for Fulci's The Black Cat wasn't that great of a commentary. It was a little bit of a snooze fest. And I mean, I think that getting a film critic or film scholar can definitely work for an audio commentary. But for example, Funimation, when they do all of their Godzilla films, they get like Ed Gajusewski, I don't know, and Steve Rifle and all those guys, and they're really good when they do their commentaries. But for whatever reason, the Arrow Releasing ones I'm not nuts about. Yeah, just wasn't super impressed with this movie. Probably not gonna see a Reference This Film on Death Smiles on a Murderer. Second Blu-ray that I got, I was super stoked when I got this, and this is Fred Olen Rey's Scalps. I know this one's been out for a little while, but I've really just sort of held back on getting it. And it's funny, I've held back on seeing this movie for so long. I've been aware of its existence, but I had never actually seen this movie until Friday. And I really like this one. It's put out by Retro Media, which I think is Fred Olen Rey's company, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think the only other thing that's been released is Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, which is really where I know Fred Olen Rey from. And if you don't know who Fred Olen Rey is, to me, I'm not like a super fan of his, but to me he's always kind of seemed like the rich man's Ray Dennis Steckler a little bit. This is a really cool release. The audio commentary for this is awesome. Fred Olen Rey always does a really good commentary track. You're the only person that's watching this? It is cool cover art, though. The only bummer is, I don't know exactly how they get like really crisp poster art for some of these, but I imagine that they take the actual poster and they get a really high res picture of it and then scan it that way, so it looks good. This just kind of looks like it was taken off of Google Images. It's a little pixelated. That's the only bummer with this one. The art, the poster is fucking awesome, but the art itself just, I don't know. It seemed a little bit lazy. But other than that, the commentary on it is fantastic. This movie looks probably as good as it's ever going to look. Another interesting thing, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. The other interesting thing about this is that they found a 35mm print of it, or they found the original negative. I think it was actually originally shot on 16, but it was probably blown up to 35mm. But they couldn't find an uncensored version of this, so all the gore effects that are in this Blu-ray release are actually ripped from the Continental VHS of this. That was the only way that they could get the uncut gore effects. So you can really see when it moves from, the restored, 2K transfer of the original negative to, a VHS tape. You can really tell when that happens. The movie all around is great. I actually plan on doing a reference this film on this movie. This is actually a really good movie, and I really like the effects. I mean, for being just a no-budget horror film, I thought that this was phenomenal. The extras on here are also pretty good. There's like a Remembering Scalps sort of like featurette documentary that's really cool, and they kind of talk about how hard it was to find a copy of the actual film to restore. Just some really cool stuff, some really cool information on this film. I highly recommend picking this up. And last but not least, going kind of the opposite direction, I got the Criterion DVD for Walkabout, which is an incredibly beautiful film about these two kids who are lost in the Australian outback after their father takes them out there and then commits suicide. This is just an extremely beautiful movie. I've only seen it once on the Encore channel, and then finally I got around to just buying a copy of it, because like I said, I've only seen it once. I haven't previously owned it on any other formats. This is just an absolutely fantastic, beautiful film. Definitely check this out. I'm really excited to see all the different, I think there's a commentary, there's also a featurette on one of the actors from this movie. I haven't popped this one in yet. I will probably do that later on today, maybe tomorrow. I'm really excited to watch this one again. This one is highly recommended. It probably should have made my top 5 favorite non-genre films list, but since I had only seen it once, I didn't want to be like that guy, There's always someone who's seen like 2001: A Space Odyssey once, and then they say it's their favorite movie, or they've seen like, Casablanca once and it's their favorite movie, and that's just dumb, But this is a fantastic film. I mean, maybe someday this will make my top 5 favorite non-genre films. So, yeah, that's really it. That's what I've acquired in the last couple of weeks. It's been, like I said, a little bit slow. I've been working on editing my feature film and doing more episodes for the YouTube channel. So, yeah, we'll just kind of keep it rolling. I'll try to remember to do more of these, like, collection updates. They're actually pretty fun to do. I just kind of turn the camera on and start going. And it's kind of cool to live stream these. It's like doing theater again, Just kind of have to roll with the punches. But yeah, that's all I got for now. So make sure that you keep checking us out. More videos to come, more movies to come. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, guys.